Today we are talking more about making money online while living abroad. If you are looking for ways to earn online to support a travel lifestyle, you're going to love this segment. Today I'll share highlights from the Nomadic Income Summit when I chatted with Amanda Abella. She is co-creator of the YouTube channel Entrepreneur Expat along with her partner Justin. She's also the founder of Make Money or Honey, and she is currently living abroad in Mexico. If we haven't met yet, I'm Tanya from Nomadic Income, where we explore how to live anywhere and earn everywhere. We're helping you design the travel lifestyle that you truly want. Amanda shares with us why automating your business is key to long-term success and happiness, why earning in a strong currency is critical for digital nomads, and talks about what it's really like to live as an expat. As many of us already know, it's not about the glamorous travel photos that we see on social media. Later in this video, you will hear more about Amanda's free guide for business automation, which, as you will hear from her, relieves a lot of the stress when working through the challenges of expat life and learning about new cultures. Let's hear from Amanda about how she discovered that automation was her secret weapon for creating a sustainable business and avoiding burnout.
So my business was growing really fast. It was starting to generate six figures a month, relatively easily. And I say relatively easily because it seems relatively easy to me based on how hard I was accustomed to working. But the truth was I was working very hard and it was very chaotic, especially behind the scenes. And then on top of that, my father got very ill and was in and out of the hospital for about 8 months during that time. So I'm here trying to deal with that and then manage a very kind of chaotic business. I'm just treading water at this point, basically. And I collapse and I have one of the worst burnouts of my life. And when I start coming back from the ashes of that, I realized that I had to start doing life and business very differently. Like most people, I had put, chasing the money and the securities in the money above, other aspects of my life and other dreams that I had. One of them, which was living in other countries and moving abroad. So during that process where I'm trying to like rebuild and figure out what the next phase is, I get this idea that I'm supposed to build kind of like an engine where I'm like, oh, the business is supposed to run like a car. The car has certain parts, you put gas in it, and it just runs. Well, what if I start looking like at a business like it's a car, and it just runs? So I became very obsessed with automations, technology, all those things, because I was like, I don't really want to deal with that many employees anymore. I just want the robots to do the work and work 24/7. And then I don't have to worry about whether or not the work is getting done. It slashes my expenses and I make more money. That was my logic. During the process of trying to figure out who on earth is going to help me with this, I end up meeting my now fiance. My now fiance was in a similar position where he was burned out on his business and the agency model. So we kind of came together. First, he kind of helped me with the automations and things for Make Money Your Honey, and those started working. And about a year ago, we decided to start traveling full time, ended up moving to Mexico to get started on our whole global citizenship path. We think that our business needs to be insanely complicated in order for us to be able to move overseas. That was a mistake that I made. I was like, I need to have all these employees, they need to be running the thing, blah, blah, blah. It turns out it was actually the exact opposite. I just needed to automate the hell out of it in order to be able to make the move. And in my case, I just wasn't able to do that before making the move. I did that while I was making the move because it forced me into it, basically. We realized that we had to put our lifestyle first and then figure out how to build a business around our lifestyle. And the lifestyle included, if we want to go to Southeast Asia, then we can do it without it completely disrupting our workflow or our business. So how do we build that? And I think that's a big mistake that a lot of people make in the digital nomad expat living overseas community. You'll hear a lot about, remote work, or you'll hear a lot about freelancing, but you don't really hear a lot about how do you run a business that runs on autopilot.
Automating repetitive tasks frees up time for more important work and just living life. Automation tools can handle many tasks like email follow ups and appointment scheduling. This is especially valuable for expats because dealing with unexpected challenges like visas and international banking can be time consuming, so it's good to know your business is still on track. Imagine waking up to find your business has generated leads and booked sales calls for you overnight, all because of the systems that you've put in place. That's the kind of freedom that automation offers, and it's a game changer for location independent entrepreneurs. Next, Amanda talks about why earning in US dollars is critical for expats. Let's hear her take.
So and speaking of financial freedom, one really easy way to get financial freedom is earn in dollars, but go live in pesos or baht or euro, depending where in Europe. Don't necessarily go live in the same currency that you earn.
Right, right. That was the point that I was making, is that people are not really understanding. They hear that the cost of living is less in another country, but it's really only less if you're making American dollars.
Yep. Yeah. If you're making Mexican pesos, everything just seems more expensive to you. But even if you make American dollars, people have been here a long time because inflation hit Mexico too. And all the other things we've been talking about, it has gotten more expensive here, even if you have American dollars. But obviously, the American dollar still goes a lot further here than it would in the United States.
This concept, a form of exchange rate arbitrage, means leveraging the strength of a currency like the US dollar. Let's say you earn $4,000 a month online, but are able to live comfortably in another country with a lower cost of living. However, Amanda also cautions that cost in popular expat destinations are rising due to inflation and demand. And so while the dollar may stretch further, budgeting and earning a consistent income remains essential. Now, Amanda talks about the real joy of expat life, slowing down and enjoying becoming part of a new culture. It's not about the luxury accommodations you see on social media. Here's her take on what really matters.
Obviously, things are a lot less expensive here than in the United States, so the dollar goes a lot further. But it's not just that; it's also the culture in Mexico. So, for example, Mexico tends to be. We just did a video on this actually. Mexico tends to be a lot more family oriented and community oriented than, for example, the United States and Canada. So that's something that's very different. And all three are North American countries, but in that regard, Mexico really stands out on a new level. So for example, it's very easy to be social in Mexico for a few reasons. Number one, the cities are built in a way where there's an actual city center and you can get everything that you need and you actually know your neighbors. So that's a part of it. Not like the US and Canada where everything's very far apart and you have to drive to everything. So that makes it easier. Another thing that makes it easier is Mexicans are very warm and kind and friendly. They'll meet you and 5 minutes later they're inviting you out to dinner. Like that's just how they are. Or they're inviting you to their sister's baby shower to help you start integrating and making friends. Like that's just how Mexican people are. So in that sense, it's been very rewarding because you feel less isolated in Mexico than maybe you would in the United States, which is interesting considering the fact that you are not in your own home country. It's just in the culture in Mexico.
What Amanda touches on here is at the heart of being an expat. It's about adapting to a new culture, forming connections with locals, and finding your rhythm in a completely different environment. It's not always easy, but it is incredibly rewarding. For many, the biggest rewards come from the simplest experiences, like being invited to a local event or navigating life in a vibrant new city. It's about creating a life, not just taking a vacation. Although it is wonderful to step out your front door or off of your boat, in our case, and be in a beautiful spot. If you are enjoying these insights, please hit the like button and subscribe for more tips on creating a location independent lifestyle. Now, as promised, Amanda shares more about resources that can help you automate your business.
We've put together a guide for you, basically called Automate Your Business So You Can Travel the World. And it's a lot of the automations that we use that automatically follow up with people specifically for sales. So you can see the emails that we use, the text message that we use, the voicemail drop that we use. And those are literally responsible for getting us so many sales calls booked on autopilot on Entrepreneur Expat. So we put them into a free guide that you can download.
There is a link included in the description that will get you free access to Amanda's templates for automating sales follow-ups with emails, text messages, and more. Tools that can help you, as it does her, thrive in a business while you travel. Check the link below to get your copy today. It's packed with practical tools that you can use right now to simplify your business. I would love to hear your thoughts. What are your biggest questions about building a remote business or living and working abroad? Drop a comment below and let's start a conversation. Be sure to watch for upcoming videos in the Summit Secrets series, where we spotlight important gems from our Fall Nomadic Income Summit. We discuss ways to use your existing business skills and discover new opportunities that can help you start traveling sooner.